Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like the channel and become part of this beautiful family that we are. And hitting that subscription button, you should know it's all free. And of course, the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I want to thank you so much for your support, your loving comments. You guys are just a blessing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to mention that I do have a private crochet group if you're interested to join. All you have to have is a profile. So you're more than welcome to join us and my beautiful queens on the group. And also have a Facebook crochet page that you can follow me, TikTok and Instagram. All of these links will be below the description box. There's a little arrow, like a V shape facing down this way like that. You could just click there, it opens up and all the links are there just below the video. A lot of you still don't know how to do that. I think I'll have to make a little video and show you because I get questioned a lot of times, my hook sizes, what kind of thread, when everything is listed below in the description box. I also would like to mention that I get requested a lot for written patterns. I don't write patterns. I go as my brain brings me there. As much as I don't write them, I don't read them either, unfortunately. So I use 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal brands, as I am in Europe. My threads, they go by number and not by name. So this lime green would be number 22. And I have this gorgeous gray, number 12. These are 100% cotton thread, 100 grams, equivalent to 325 yards. They're $12 a ball, minimum order of 6 to cover at least shipping. I gain nothing from it. I also have shiny threads, which I just finished doing a project, but I still have a little bit left. I don't know if you can see, this is black and gray. They're 50 grams. These are nylon. Could that be it? I can't remember. But anyway, so they're the same price. For whatever reason, it's much thinner than my regular thread. This 4-ply is similar to Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton. Mine is a little bit thinner, so my patterns become automatically smaller. Okay, if you're using Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton, your patterns are bigger. 2.75 hook or 3.5, depending on the pattern I'm working on. And a pair of scissors, of course, and a small one to tuck in loose ends. Please give a thumbs up on the video, comment, share. Sharing is caring. Help out the channel to grow. And I send you much love and much hugs and many prayers for many of you that need. We all need in general. The world needs it in general. And I send you much hugs. Let's get started, everyone. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So I had launched this pineapple doily yesterday, and I'm adding the 3D flowers, as I mentioned on the other video, that I might do that, and I'm going to add them. I've already done the tutorial for the flowers. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need at this point yet, but it will be written in the description box. You can go there and check because then the video should be already finished. Now, I have odd numbers of shell here, and I need even numbers. I don't want to increase more rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take down this last row, and I'm going to make an increase of another shell right in between the middle here. In between each pineapple, we have, not counting, let's say the one next to the pineapples, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so on the middle one where we have the pineapple here, I'm going to add 2 more shells here. Okay, so that means I'm going to be doing 3 groups of 3 double crochet because I need that extra shell. Okay, so I'm going to take down this row. I know it's a bummer, but that's just the way it is. And I'm going to add that 3 group shell that I need in order to have even numbers, or else the flowers won't fit it properly. I've tried different ways and I didn't like it. It left too much of a gap. And when I don't like something, there's just no question about it. Okay, so I'm going to take mine down, then come back to you. Okay, so I've taken down to my very first shell from that row, the last row of the pattern that I took down. Now I'm going to do an increase here on the center of this pineapple. So I've done my 2 chains. I'm going to do 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 more double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet in order for me to have an increase of a shell. Okay, 2 chain, and continue shell over shell. So my increase is only in the middle of that bottom pineapple. So I'm going to continue to do shell over shell. I get distracted when I'm talking. We don't want to lose any shells. We need to increase. So continue to do yours, and I'll meet you here at the edge of the pineapple. So getting to my pineapple, so I've done my shell, my 2 chain, and coming in doing my shell again. So it's just shell over shell. The only difference is the increase on the middle of that first pineapple, which I'll show you in a second again. 2 chain, we got to work with the pattern, not against it. So we know that the middle of the next pineapple is this bottom one, not the top one. It's this one here, first pineapple. So we're going to do the increase of 3 groups of 3 double crochet, exactly how we did here. Okay, so I'll meet you there just to make sure that we're on the right track. So we've arrived in the middle of the pineapple. We're going to do 2 chain, 3 more double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more. This way the next row is just shell over shell with 2 chain space in between them. Okay, so if you count from one to the other, where we started the first 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shells. On your 9th, you add the 3 groups. Again, you start counting 1, 2, 3. On your 9th, your 3 groups. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm arriving at the end, doing my 2 chain. Now, this row, I'm going to do the walk with the slip stitch, as I call it, to the center. This row is only shells over shells. Okay, so very simple. And then after that, I'm cutting my thread and getting my flowers ready to add them on. 2 chain. Now if you find that it's too tight for you, if you have a very tight tension, you can do a 3 chain. I'm trying to loosen mine up, but I don't want it too loose because of the attachments of my flowers. Okay, so very simple. Just shell over shell, 2 chain, and where we did that 3 group, I'm doing shell, okay, so remember where we did the 3 groups, so we're just doing shell, 2 chain, shell. And then just continue from there until the end. And then cutting our thread. Okay, so shell over shell. The only difference is we're creating the shell here now. We need to have the even number, and that's the only way I can come up with in order to have even number. And then we can have our flower added on into those shells. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone. So yesterday I had done a video on this flower that had 3 rows of petals, which I already have the tutorial out on this one, with 2 rows. Now, I've tried the 3 rows of petals. That's what I wanted for my pattern, but it's too heavy on the pattern. The pattern is too delicate to have such huge flowers on there. So I was obligated to cut down on the rows. So took everything apart and did 2 rows. I do have the tutorial on this specific one with 2 rows only instead of 3, but the edging here around is done with the granny square. I'm not doing the granny square. We're going to add these on as round flowers. So I will leave the link below in the description box if you want to create this specific flower. If you don't want to create this flower and you want a complete different one, it must have at least 8 loops in the back, like I have here, in order for us to do the shells into the pattern. Okay, so you can create this flower if you want to create this one, and you're going to stop where we do the 4 chain loops in the back. Okay, and then you just come in, because the other one I continue with the green but doing granny square. This is not granny square, we're just building little leaves. So you'd come in the loop in the back with a single, 1 2 3 chain, coming back in with a single, 1 2 3 4 5 chain, coming back in again with a single, 1 2 3 chain, coming back in with a single. So I have these little leaves created, 2 chain space, because we'll need that 2 chain space in order to create our petals into the pattern. 3 chain, so into the next loop, of course. 1 2 3 4 5 chain, that's the middle one, and then the third one, 3 chain. So we have 2 loops of 3 chain and the middle one of 5 chain. 2 chain space into the next chain, 1 with a single, 2 3 chain, single, 1 2 3 4 5 chain, and single, 1, 2 chain. Again, coming back into the next loop, single, 1, 2, 3. We're going to repeat these little leaves all the way around, and then cut our thread, tuck in the loose ends. Now, this pattern most definitely is going to take about 30 flowers. So I suggest you creating the flowers because it is a lot of time consuming. It's a lot of work into it, even into the pattern. Is it worth it? Absolutely. I'm sure you're going to absolutely fall in love with the pattern at the end. Yes, it will take time. You'll probably have a full day creating these flowers. Okay. But at the end result, you will absolutely love the pattern once you create it. Okay, so continue to do these beautiful little 3 leaves on each space of the chains back here. We have 8 chains, so you must do the 8 leaves on the 8 chains. Cut your thread, tuck in loose ends, and put it away. So I suggest do a bunch of them, and then you can go back to the pattern, continue the pattern, come back, do some more flower. It's really the best thing. You could also do just this, a whole bunch of them, and then come back and then do the green in order not to get fed up, because it can get overwhelming. It's a lot of flowers, but it's worth it. Trust me, it is worth it. Okay, so just continue to do that, and then I'll come back to you for the attachment of the flower. Okay, everyone, so I've done my slip stitch knot. Got a bunch of thread all over the place due to these flowers. Good heavens. Okay. So I'm going to start on the one just before we did that increase. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. We have the 2 of them here. We had to do the increase, if you recall, in order to have even numbers. So we're going to be attaching this one after another as we go. I prefer it this way than cutting threads and coming back, tucking in. So single, 2 chain. I'm going to create a shell of 3 double crochet on this space of the 2 chain on the green before and after the leaf. 2 chain and 3 more double crochet. That's why it's important for you to create your flowers, because once you start attaching, you just keep grabbing your flowers and you keep going. We're going to do 1 chain space. Now we have that 5 chain leaf. We're going to go right under and do single. 1 chain again, and into the next 2 chain space right after the leaf. So we have the before and the after, and create another shell of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Now the next shell we're going to start attaching. This is for the first one to go onto the pattern. When we add all the flowers on one side, and then we have to rotate, come back the other way, and fill the top with the shells, okay? 1 chain. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. I've done it so many times with the granny square and flower. This is different. This is attached with a round instead of the granny square. So 1 chain behind the 5 chain leaf, right in the bottom, single. 1 chain again, coming into that 2 chain after the 3 leaves here. We're going to create 3 double crochet. 1 chain. I'm going to grab my pattern back to back. We have the 2 shells that we did the increase, remember? So just before it, back to back, I'm doing a single. I'm coming back in and complete my shell. 3 double crochet, 1 chain behind that leaf again, and single, 1 chain into that 2 chain right after the leaves, and create your 3 double crochet. So the flower is attached twice into the pattern. 1 chain. I'm coming into that first shell from the increase we did with a single, come back in, complete your shell. Okay, so now we have it attached into 2 places. All of the shells will be attached. Okay, for that reason we had to have even number. 1 chain, come behind that 5 chains leaf, which is right in the center, single, and then 1 chain. Come into the next 2 chain on the right after the leaves, create a shell. So we're pretty much preparing this shell for the next flower attachment. So it's a complete shell created. Okay, so create that shell, 1 chain behind that 5 chain leaf. It's a lot of work into this pattern, a lot, but it's well worth it. You will love the results, I'm sure. Now here we're only going to do 3 double crochet. We're not going to complete the shell. I'm going to grab my second flower, and I'm going to do 3 double crochet also. You'll understand what I mean once I create this and show you and explain to you how it goes. 1 chain. So we have 3 double crochet on this flower, 3 double crocheting. Only once we come around, when we finish adding all the flowers, we have to do the top of the flowers with the shells. Then we're going to come around and complete these shells. Okay? So behind the 5 chain again, with a single, 1 chain into the next 2 chain after the leaves, create your 3 double crochet. Now we're going to attach into this shell that we did alone. Okay, so no chain space, just single. Come back in, complete your shell. Much faster to add these flowers on, but of course takes a lot of time to create them. 1 chain, come back into that leaf, the middle 5 chain leaf, single, 1 chain into the 2 chain right after the leaves, in between leaves, that's what it is, and create your 3 double crochet. So we already have 2 attachments on the flower. We'll complete it once we do all the flowers this way, and then we have to come back and do the top to come this way. So now I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm going to attach it to the next. So all of the shells will have an attachment. Next shell, single, come back in and complete your shell. 1 chain, come behind the leaf, single, 1 chain into the next 2 chain between leaves, create your 3 double crochet. We're going to attach it 1 chain into the next shell. It's always 2 attachments on the pattern and on the flower. Complete your shell, 1 chain, single, 1 chain. Now this shell here will be completely done. That's preparing for the next flower attachment, okay, because we've already attached it on the pattern. 2 chain, come back in, complete that shell. Very simple. 1 chain, come behind that leaf with a single, one chain. Now here on the next one, we're only doing 3 double crochet. We'll complete it when we finish adding all the flowers in. Grab your next flower, go directly into the 2 chain and do only 3 double crochet. So a half shell, 1 chain into the next one, single, 1 chain into the next 2 chain in between leaves, and create 3 double crochet. Now we're going to attach it onto the flower again, back to back, come back in, complete your shell, okay, so now we have it attached to the flower again, 1 chain, and now we're going to attach it to the pattern again, single, 1 chain, create your 3 double crochets, 1 chain into the next shell on the pattern. Make sure you look well, don't skip any, because you have to attach to all of them. And it's so easy to skip one. I know by experience. And then I had to come back and take everything down. 1 chain, again, single, 1 chain, create your 3 double crochets, 1 chain, and again into the pattern. So always twice attachment to the pattern and to the flowers. Come back in, complete your shell. One chain, come in the center of that 5 chain leaf, single, 1 chain. Now you're going to complete a whole shell. That's preparing for the next flower attachment. So very simple. 2 chain, come back in, complete your shell. The next one is only 3 double crochets. Grab your next flower and 3 double crochets also. One chain into the next leaf, 1 chain, 3 double crochets, and we're going to attach it to the flower. You could always rewind the video, turn your closed caption on, read the stitches that I'm calling out. You can pause the video. This is just a repeat now, okay? 1 chain. Next shell we're attaching to the pattern. Three double crochet, 1 chain into the next shell. Then come back in, do your 3 double crochet, 1 chain, single, and again 3 double crochet. So it's just a repeat now, always the same thing. That's why it's important to have the flowers ready, because then you just keep going and attaching them and it goes quick. Its longest is really creating them, right? So again, into the pattern and do your 3 double crochet, 1 chain, and pretty much repeat the same thing. So here, you know, right after you do your second attachment to the pattern, you know that it's a full shell complete. Right after the second attachment. Okay. And right after that, you know, it's only 3 double crochet that you have to do. Okay. I'm in the wrong one. I'm in the leaf. Not good. Sometimes you have to be careful. I have cameras in my face, so it's kind of hard for me to talk, see, do, crochet. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy task. Okay, but anyway. So this is what it's going to look like. Now, once we keep adding and we'll keep going all the way around, then we have to go back the other way and complete the shells on this side. For that reason, we have the shell here. We're going to, once we come around, we'll complete it here and keep going with the pattern. Obviously, there's still a few more rows right after the flowers to finalize the pattern. Okay, so continue yours. I'll continue mine. We'll fix the leaves and all of that at the end. Don't stress over it. They get tucked in inside of the shells, but that's, you know, how it is. Once it's all done, then I'll fix it and block it. By the way, I use laundry softener and a little bottle of spray. I spray it everywhere. Stretch it out with your hands. Everything stays flat. I don't have time to wait for it to dry, so I light steam iron over it and it stays perfect. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end once I've completed all my flowers, okay? Okay, everyone, so I'm on my last flower, adding to the pattern, which I just did my last 2. And now we're going to add to the first flower that we had put on there. So back to back with the first flower. And do our shell. So it took me 2 days to do these 30 flowers, about, I don't know, around 7 hours each. So looking about 14 hours altogether, around there, 14, 16 hours. It's a lot of detailing, right? But like I said, you know, before, it's worth it. It's a beautiful centerpiece or table for a small tablecloth to go just over the top of the table. Get the flowers hanging a bit on the sides there. Okay, so turn this. This is getting big. Okay, so I've added my last attachment. So now I have all my flowers in. Now we're going to continue to do the top all the way around. So you would just turn your pattern and you do exactly what you've been doing. 1 chain, go into the middle of that 5 chain, single, 1 chain, and complete your shells all the way around. So very simple, nothing to it. Everything else goes easy now. The longest and the hardest is the getting those flowers done, right? Or at least preparing them. Even to add them on goes very fast. Okay, so you do your 3 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet. Again, 1 chain going in the center of that 5 leaf, single, 1 chain, and into the 2 chain space between leaves. So we're going to continue to do this all the way around the same way. I will meet you at the end once I have completed all my shells. Of course, I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. Very simple. You just have to complete where the half shells are, 1 chain. So you'd come in where you have that half shell, create your 3 double crochets that's left to be done to complete the shell. 1 chain. I'm going to, either you can come in the center here. I think it's best for you guys. Single, and then come into the next one. I wouldn't even do 1 chain. I would just go straight and into the center here and create the single. 1 chain. So that's it. That's all you have to do. So you got all of your flowers created into all of the shells. I'll meet you there again just to make sure you understand. So we have the 3 double crochets. We're going to go directly in after we've done our 1 chain space. In the single 1 chain, complete your 3 double crochets. Now you can do 1 chain or you can come directly in with a single. And where you have the other 3, again, come in and complete those 3 double crochet. 1 chain, and you just continue. Simple as that. No cutting each time flowers and tucking in when you can add them all in one shot. And like I mentioned on the tutorial of these flowers, there's the granny square. It was done for a pattern that I had created that took all of those flowers that I had created on that tutorial. And the link is below the description box for that flower with the granny. If you want to have a look, you might enjoy that one too. We'll fix all the leaves and all that together on the next round. So this is what it's going to look like. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end. I'm going to do the walk, as I call it, with the slip stitch to the center here. So in through these little chains here. I'm going to come in where we've closed in that single, okay, with a single. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. See if 4 chains enough. In between the 2 shells here, we have that single, and we also have this middle 5 chain. I'm going to come in between the middle 5 chain, that single, and I'm going to do a double crochet, 2 chain. I'm going to come back in. So I'm creating a little V here. That's what I'm doing. No, I'm not going to do no chain space. I don't know why I was doing that. Gonna come directly into the shell, no chain space, and create your shell. So basically this row will be about shells and creating V's. Again, I'm going to come in between that 5 chain and the single that we have in between shells and create a V again. 2 chain, back in. So we can have these leaves just stretch out so they don't just hang there. Okay, and again, we're going to create the shell. We have to do this all the way around the same way. So where we have these singles, we go in between the leaves and we create V's, okay? Again, coming in the middle of, we have right behind that 5 chain, we have that single. Create the V, 2 chain, come back in. One, two, three, 4. I'm going to come where that single is with a single. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we're going to repeat those V's, double crochet, 2 chain, and double crochet. So we're going to repeat this all the way around the same way in between. So when we come back, we'll finish the other 4 chain here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end unless something comes up, and then I'll come back on and let you know. Okay. Okay, everyone, so I've arrived at the end, did my 4 chain, and I'm going to come in where we started that single with a slip stitch. Now I need to go here to the center of this one. So I'm just going to slip stitch. Probably grab my smaller one here. I don't want it too loose, but I don't want it too tight either. So I'm just slip stitching right through it. Come through this one also. And in the center here, I'm going to do a single, okay? Two chain, coming in my shell and doing my shell. So shell over shell. 2 chain. And 3 more double crochet. So I have shell over shell. I'm not making no chain space. I'm coming into the center of this V, and I'm going to do a shell of 2 double crochet only. No chain space into my shell, my normal shell with shell. So very simple. So where we have the normal shell, we create a normal shell of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. Okay. Where we have the V, we're going to do a shell of 2 double crochet only. 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 double crochet. Sorry, people, not on this one. This one on this one is just single. I don't know why. I guess I was just focusing where the V's to do the shell. So you have one shell here to do. Now, exactly how we have here, we have to do 2 chain into the center of this V, which is the closest from one flower to the other. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going in the wrong one. That wasn't smart. So 4 chain. See if 4 chain is enough. If not, I'll do a 5 chain. So into the V. I think I'm going to do a 5 chain to make sure that it doesn't pull too much on the pattern. So I have 4 chain, 1 more is 5, and into the V with single. So we have a single on the last V here of the flower and single at the beginning. Exactly how we did that single here. I don't know why I was 2 chain coming back in. So it's just going to be a repeat now, shell over shell. My brain sometimes, it tells me one thing, my mouth says something else. It's just the way it is. No chain space, and we're going to create those 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 more double crochet. So that's our shell of 2. That's the middle one. And then your normal shell again. 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet, 2 chain, coming in that last V with a single. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming in the first V of the next flower. So it's going to be like that all the way around, the same way. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end. I've done my 5 chain. You remember when we first started, we started with that single. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to close it up. I'm going to do the walk again through these 2 chains we did here with a slip stitch. I want to get to my shell. Just going to come right through here, right in the center of the shell, and do a shell. So this whole row is shells, except for the chains here. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more. Okay. I'm going to do 1 chain where we have the shell of 2 chains, 2 double crochet, I should say. We're doing shell of 3 double crochet. One chain into the next one, and continue to do your shell. Okay, so we have 3 shells now. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain. So we have the 5 chain there. 1, 1, 2 on my second, or you can go just right over if you want. or you can go on the string. It's up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain. Again, just shell over shell. So very simple this row, nothing to it. Two chain and 3 more double crochet. So you know where you have all your shells is shell, even the one with the 2 would do the 3 shell. Okay, so all 3 with 3 double crochet and then 6 chain here. If you feel you should do only 5, then go ahead. We don't want it too loose or we don't want it too tight. And that's all we're going to do for this row. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end and I've been hooking mine on the 3rd chain. But like I said, you could do right over. So I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm going to come into the next single. So we're going to do singles and picot. So I'm going to come in the center of that shell. Single, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to close it with slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back into the same space where I've closed the first one. Slip stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm doing a picot with 3 chain, 1 of 4 and 1 of 3 again. I'm going to come back into that shell while the center of the 2 chain there, and did a single, 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 single. So I'm doing singles, 1 per stitch, and doing the picot only where I have the shells. Single in the center, 1, 2, 3 chain. Now you could do it with the red, you could do it with the green, or whatever colors you're using to finish this last row. I'm just going to use white. I think the red already brings enough into it. So 1 chain of 3, chain stitch, 1 of 4, and the last one of 3. Closing it in with slip stitch, coming back in with a single. And then singles all the way through. 1 where we have the chain, 1 chain space between the shells. Into it, 1, 2, 3 chain, coming in, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain, into the same one, slip stitch, 1, 2, and 3, into the same one, slip stitch, back in, single, and then single, 1 per stitch. I need to figure out what I'm going to do here, if I'm just going to do singles through the chain. I'm not sure. Single. If I try to close it up with single, I don't know if it's going to tighten too much the pattern. I will have to give it a try and see. If not, I will have to come up with something else. Yeah, I think it actually looks pretty good. I don't think it looks that bad. I don't want it to be too loose. And if I find that it's pulling, or you find that it's pulling, you could always do a 1 chain space. Yeah, I think it's best with 1 chain space. And then single again everywhere. And then where we have the shell, single, 3 chain, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3 and 4 into the same one. 1, 2, 3 into the same one and back in with a single. I think that will work. So I'm going to advance it again to the next one. Now it's just a repeat and see how I like it. Okay, everyone, so I did do it on this one chain also, and it's just perfect. I think I'm going to leave it this way. I think I'm not going to do anything else to it because I think it just looks perfect enough. There's no point of overdoing it. It's big, it's heavy, perfect. Either you have a big table or a small table top cover sort of thing. Just gorgeous, really is. And then I will be blocking it with a bit of laundry softener mixed in a little bottle with water. I'm going to spray, I'm going to stretch it out with my hands, and I'm going to light iron it. Do a little video of it on top of my table, and the measurements and everything else will be below in the description box. I hope you guys like this new tutorial of mine, this new creation. Thank you so much for being here. Please share. Sharing is caring. Invite your friends and family to be part of this journey with me. Let's keep growing as a family. Help the video out. Help the channel out. It's a way of appreciation back. We don't ask of anything else. Please give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. We should not be begging for it. You should be doing out of your own conscience to help us out, not just myself, but many other creators that depend on you guys for that. I send you much love, much hugs, blessings, and prayers. We all need prayers. We need to pray for the world. We need to pray for people that are sick. We need to pray for people that have addictions. We need to pray for people that's got weak spirits that, the mental depression and things like that. It's extremely important. Prayers work, people. Talking to God things over, it really does work. So let's stick together as an army of God and pray for the world. We all need it, including myself. Thank you so much. I send you much love, much hugs. And until next time, everyone, let me know what you think of my new creation. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.